Boom! What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 2 a.m. in Sweden. It's clearly not 2 a.m. outside. Um, I hope everyone's doing well. It's technically 8 p.m. in Sweden at this point, but we're going to go over everything. Yesterday was busy doing the move and stuff. Steven wasn't going to be on the show yesterday, so I gave myself a little bit of wiggle room. So we're going to run it today. Hope everyone's doing good. We're going to cover a bunch of different things that have happened out there in the world of sports between the NFL, college football playoffs did come out, so we'll go into that. The NBA is another important thing because the college football playoffs, they had another week that was announced too. So there's a bunch of different things that I do want to talk about, cover. If there's anything you all want, just let us know. We'll end up putting it on the show. Just to start off, make sure to check out the quick slant. Steven did put out an episode last week. He will be putting, is that Idris Elba? Oh no. He will be putting out another one. More than likely this week. If anything, it'll probably be around Friday or so. So make sure to tune in for that one. Other things that I do want to bring up, which is really fascinating. So Cayenne, Anthony, and then also the Boozer twins have both signed, and Strong have all signed to Nike. The big part about that is they haven't signed any UNC players. So you don't have any UNC players that are on board, but you got Duke players, and then also you have Syracuse. The Syracuse one was easily going to happen just because of Carmelo Anthony. The two Blue Devils happening before you were going to have a UNC person was something that some people are a little surprised at. I'm not. You just got to go game is game, players are players. Whoever's a good player, that's what really you're going to go with. So that's one part that I did want to bring up. I have a question I'm going to save for next week because I want to have the conversation with Steven, but it's going to be, what is one of the more special, amazing moments, uh, particular plays in sports? Is it a bicycle kick in soccer? Is it a one-handed grab in football? Is it a half-court shot in basketball? Or is it a wall catch in baseball? So we'll bring this up next week on the show, and then I'll also put out a poll next week too. So for anyone that is interested or wants to end up giving us some of their commentary, let us know. We'll talk about that. Going into the college football side of things, then I'll go into the NFL, and then I'll go into oh, that's Lincoln Riley. We'll get into that in a second. Then we'll go into basketball. So starting with the NFL, starting with college football, I'll go through the top 25, then I'll go through the college football playoffs, and then we'll just have a little bit of discussion. So 1 through 5. So Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia, Texas Tech, 6 through 10, Oregon, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, 11 through 15, BYU, Miami, University of Utah, Vandy, Michigan, 16 through 20, Texas, USC, UVA, Tennessee, and the Sun Devils, 21 through 25. We have SMU, Pittsburgh, fuck Pitt, Georgia Tech, and Tulane, and then Arizona to round it out. Now looking at the college football playoffs. As of right now, so for anyone that doesn't know, this came out last night around 8:30. It comes out, and the top 12 we have, so 1 through 4, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia. And this is something I was talking about with Steven. So number 3 and number 4 are not going to stay that way, because when you have the SEC championship game, if both of them are in it, whoever the loser is, I'm assuming is going to fall down. And then who is it that ends up moving up? Does Texas Tech move up? Who are we having move up into that spot? Going into 5 through 12. So the 5-12 right now would be Texas Tech against Tulane, because they're one of the outside of the Power 5 conferences. 6 versus 11 would be Oregon against Miami, so that'd be a cross country one. On that side, 7 through 10, Ole Miss, Alabama. That's another SEC matchup. Does that continue to happen? An SEC team playing an SEC team, we'll have to see. And then 8 and 9 matchup would be Oklahoma and Notre Dame, and then the winner of that would go up against Ohio State. That's interesting that happened with the camera. We're gonna switch this up for a second because I have not seen this happen in a minute. Glad Steven's not on the show, because your boy would absolutely have said something if that was the case. But just continuing on, I guess it's working. I don't really know what happened in that moment, because that's never happened. Don't tell Steven that happened. But So that's a big thing on that side. Another thing is Lane Kiffin has to make a decision relatively soon when it comes to anything where he's going to coach, what he's going to do, because you have LSU, you have, why did I go back? You have LSU, you have Ole Miss, and you have Florida that are all waiting for you to end up making your decision. There's a lot of different people that have voted or given their thoughts on where he's going to be. 13 have said that he's going to go to LSU. 5 have said, what the heck? 5 have said he's going to go to Ole Miss. Paul Feinbaum is also one of them that said he's going to LSU. Desmond Howard has said he's going to LSU. Dave Portnoy said he's going to Ole Miss. Big Cat Katz said he's going to LSU. 2 people have said he's going to the Gators. And then we have Tom Fornelli that says he's going to the Tennessee Titans. I don't think he's going back to the NFL because the way he's doing a lot of this, you can get away with this in the college football landscape. I don't know if it'll happen on the NFL side. And then for you to just be choosing between 2 other SEC teams is a little wild. But I'm going to get Steven's thoughts next week on that one. That's an important one. The other part that I do want to end up bringing up is just talking about everything that's going on in the NFL. But 2 things that I will talk about on the NFL side that do have a little bit of tie to the college football side. Chip Kelly did get fired. They let him go, and he was the highest paid coordinator, $6 million with the Las Vegas Raiders. The other one is the Giants defensive coordinator did get fired. Before we start to segue into the game picks and stuff like that, I do want to let everyone know fantasy football regular season only has 2 weeks left. So please make sure to check the waivers right now. If you have a dynasty team, check for any injured players that are out there. Because if they're injured, sometimes people do not think to pick them back up because it's dynasty. I was able to end up picking up Malik Neighbors, and I put Malik Neighbors in the IR spot. He's not playing this year, but I have a keeper league where I can keep 3. I'm going to keep him. Jaden Daniels, someone dropped him. I put Jaden Daniels on my team as well. So that's 2 right there. And then I could choose some running back that I'll end up having. And those are all ones that I don't have to worry about my 7 through like 10 or 11 draft slots. So 1 through 5, 1 through 7, I could choose whatever, and then we can continue to move forward that way. But make sure you look at your fantasy football team because you do have some players that are going to be out there. We're going to turn this off for a second because I have no clue what the hell is going on with this camera. If you guys can still see me, thank you. I don't really know what's happening. Going into the next thing, I want to talk about the game picks. So last week, we did have Steven go 7-7, and then I ended up going 8-6. Oh, that thing is like, okay. Yep, it's not going to work right now. Looking at week 13, and I'll give you Steven's, then I'll give you mine as well when we go through everything. Let's see, because Steven, I told him to send them to me. So first game of the week, we have our Thanksgiving Day matchup. First one we have is the Packers and the Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions. They are playing at home. Steven has the Lions in this one as well. Looking at the next game, we have the Chiefs and then the Cowboys. Steven has the Chiefs. And I was going to go with the Chiefs anyways. Although they're playing in Dallas, I still have faith within the Chiefs. They need this one. Next one is the Bengals and the Ravens. Ravens need this one. They've been doing good. Joe Burrow is supposed to end up playing, so we'll see how that ends up working out with Joey B playing. I don't know why this is acting this way. This is insane. Next game we do have is the 49ers and the Browns. Sorry, we have the Eagles and the Bears. And looking at the Eagles and the Bears game, I'm of course going with the Eagles. They didn't have a great showing when it came to the Eagles Cowboys. They should have won that game, but it's something that I told a couple of my friends. All the games are fine, cool, no issues, but they have not gone up against teams that have 2 dynamic wide receivers. Yes, you're going to say Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Look what happened. They essentially got a little torched in that one from the receiver position. And then you have George Pickens, and then you have CeeDee Lamb. And look how that ended up turning out. Steven has the Bears in this one. Next one we have is the 49ers and the Browns. I'm going with the 49ers, but I am rooting for your boy Myles Garrett to end up getting this sack record at the rate that he's going. Steven has the 49ers as well. Going into the next one, we have the Jags and the Titans. I really want to keep going against them, but I don't see the Jags lose this one. Fuck the Jags. But I have the Jags in this one. Steven has the Jags as well. Next we have is the Texans and the Colts. So the Colts, they lost to the Chiefs in overtime. I'm going with the Texans. The Texans look like they're picking it up a little bit. Steven has the Colts in this one. Texans defense is looking really good. They're also number one at fantasy football points. So if they're out there for some random reason, try to pick them up. They could do you well in the fantasy football playoffs as well. I know this is something that I've been looking for in a lot of my different teams that I play on in different leagues that I'm in. So pay attention to them. I also have Daniel Jones, so it's a little weird that I'm rooting for the Texans defense, but I have Daniel Jones, and I also have Jonathan Taylor. I have Michael Pittman Jr., and then I have Tyler Warren in various different leagues over there. But the next game we have is the Saints and the Dolphins. The Saints are not good at all. I don't think they know what they're doing at quarterback. Alvin Kamara is probably not playing in that one. So we both have the Dolphins in that one. Falcons and the Falcons and the Jets. I guess I have to go with the Falcons. I don't really want to go with the Falcons, but the Jets don't look great. And they're just trying to get through the end of the season. I don't even know what's going to happen with Coach Glenn after the season. That's another question mark that we have to end up figuring out. Next one we have is the Bucks and the Cardinals. Me and Steven both have the Bucks in that one. Next one we have is the Rams and the Panthers. Rams look good. I've been saying that since the beginning. Rams look good. Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are both having a great year. Matthew Stafford looks like the runaway MVP at this point, the way he's orchestrating that whole offense. And again, I'll say it time and time again, that was probably the most fair trades I've ever seen. Having Matthew Stafford go out west and then having Jared Goff end up going to the Detroit Lions. It's looked good for both teams. Both teams are happy. Both teams got what they needed out of it. All that needs to be done to solidify this whole trade to make it definitely one of the best is if Jared Goff ends up winning a Super Bowl championship with them. Will it happen? I don't know if the Lions are going to do that. You have the Eagles and the Rams, again, that are going to have something to say. I'm not really too worried about the Bucks over there. And Lions only have two teams that they have to worry about. Next game we do have is the Vikings and the Seahawks. So I don't know who Steven's picking, but I would definitely assume he's going with the Seahawks. He's going with the Seahawks. Vikings don't look good. J.J. McCarthy's probably not going to play. They said that when he was on the plane, he ended up having concussion symptoms, which is a problematic there. They're saying that this quarterback, undrafted free agent, is probably the one that, undrafted rookie free agent, might even put up a better showing than J.J. McCarthy. So you've had all these other quarterbacks that Justin Jefferson has done well with, but then you end up putting J.J. McCarthy back there, and he has an issue. Next one we have is the Bills Steelers. I'm going with the Bills in this one. Steven probably is okay. Steven's going with the Bills. Steelers need a win because the Steelers lose and the Ravens win. Ravens already just pulled away in that one. So we'll see how that game ends up playing out. Next one is Raiders Chargers. If you go with the Raiders, I got to ask you questions. I'm going with the Chargers in this one. Raiders do not look good. They look like they're just trying to get out of the season. Broncos Commanders. I'm going with the Broncos in this one. Broncos just look better. I don't know if you want to throw Jaden Daniels out there for his first game against that defense. Broncos are in first place in their division as well. Final one, Giants Patriots. I'm going with the Pats. Patriots just look on a different league compared to Giants, especially. This is not the old school times when it was Eli Manning versus Tom Brady. We both have the Pats in that one. Drake May looks good. Stephon Diggs is fine in his role. Trevion Henderson and then Ramondre Stevenson are both having a good showing. Will Campbell, that is something I do want to bring up because news did come out about Will Campbell. The other thing is Hunter Henry's having a good year too. So you got to give big ups to him over there. But when it comes to Will Campbell, he's on injured reserve. So they don't necessarily know how long he's going to miss, but he has to miss at least 4 games, which does suck for him. But he will be back in time for the playoffs. So we're at week 13. So he'll be back like first week of the playoffs. If they get a bye and then they had this, then you're good. But now you're competing. It's Patriots and the Broncos for that spot over there. So that's one thing that I wanted to end up talking about. Those are all the games. Run it through it. There are no bye weeks this week. So that's another important thing just for everyone to know. There are no buys, so every team is going to be playing. If you're looking for different people to pick up in your fantasy football league, please do it today. Do it today, tomorrow. Waivers went out most places around 3 a.m. So pay attention on that side of things. other part I did want to bring up is just running through the standings really quick. We will do the points and everything next week. We're not going to do it this week because Steven's not on the show. 1 through 5 in the East and then the West, and I'll do Detroit Pistons are 15-2, 13-game win streak. Toronto Raptors are 13-5. Detroit Pistons are 15-2, 13-game win streak. Toronto Raptors are 13-5, 8-game win streak. Miami Heat is 12-6, 5-game win streak. Cleveland Cavaliers are 12-7. New York Knicks are 10-6. Again, before the season, we called all of this. Milwaukee's not the same as what they were. Boston Celtics are done right now because Jason Tatum's injured. The Philadelphia 76ers, we don't know what the hell is going on over there. Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton's injured. Whole season Achilles. So you really have those three teams that are not there. It paved the way for so many other teams to make a name. You have the Hawks that are in 6. That's not going to stay that way, but the Hawks are 6. The ones that it does show you that are just going to suck all the time, the Wizards, the Nets, and the Hornets. The other two that are down there partially have reasons, but not really. But the Bucks are 8-10. They have Giannis and Miles Turner, but you did let go of some pieces that you did need. Case in point, Damian Lillard. But going over to the West side, 1 through 5. OKC Thunder 17-1, 9-game win streak. Los Angeles Lakers 13-4, 5-game win streak. Denver Nuggets 13-4. They've only won 1 in a row so far. Houston Rockets 11-4. San Antonio Spurs 11-5. And Victor Wembanyama is not playing currently. Phoenix Suns are 11-7. Minnesota Timberwolves 10-7. Golden State Warriors 10-9. And then Portland Trailblazers 8-10. Memphis Grizzlies are 6-12. Not really too concerned about the bottom half right now. The Jazz being down there, the Kings being down there, and the Clippers being down there are worrisome. The Jazz just aren't going to be doing anything anytime soon. The Kings, they're going to start trading people. The Clippers, how the hell is that even a thing that they're down there? Granted, again, it is really early and anything can change. Only thing I will say is the Clippers and the Mavericks are 12 games behind first place. Whereas if you look on the other side, the Celtics are only 6 games behind first place. And I say that because they're all bunched in there at that like 11 to 12.5 game losing. Games back. So, and then the Pelicans are 3-15. Only teams worse than the Pelicans are the Wizards and the Pacers. So that's really what I'm going to say. There's a lot of concern for these teams at the bottom. I don't really know what the hell is going to happen. I know some of them are not going to stay in this destination. If you 5 to 10 years from now, Pelicans are absolutely going to leave. At the rate that this is going, Pelicans can leave. The Grizzlies can leave. Those are not strong fan bases. No disrespect, but their fan bases are not as strong as some of the other ones. Even OKC has continued to develop that fan base. And they took that team out of Seattle, and then the OKC fans have just loved it ever since. But shorter episode than usual. Want to just throw something out there so we could talk about the picks. That's important. Make sure you pick up everybody you need to on the waivers. If there are kickers out there that you're looking for, like Kai Fairbairn, that's an important one. Will Rickard is another one. And then you also have Jason Myers. If any of those are out there, please pick them up. I would say Brennan Aubrey, but I know Brennan Aubrey is not going to be out there. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone that is watching this from the States. Anyone else that's watching around the globe, we appreciate you all and we're thankful for you all. We'll be back next week. Until next time, we out.